shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm pleased to be joined by Ollie Turton. We'll start with Louis Reynolds from BBC Radio Leeds.
Thank you. Ollie, good to see you again. We'll look back on Tuesday. I appreciate you didn't get on, but how did you view that win down at Shrewsbury?
It's a brilliant win. Obviously, the circumstances of the pitch, obviously they're fighting for their lives. So it's a tough game. So I can imagine they're going to pick up results, and they have done. I think they've beaten Wrexham and Birmingham, so it was a hard team to play against, and yeah, I think it's important for the rest of the season that we got that win, and it shows the resilience that we have got, and to come out of that game, because it was a tough game, to get the 3 points.
It showed that fight as well, didn't it, to back up the win against Barnsley? Yeah,
it was obviously important that we did back up what the lads did at Barnsley. And it's just important now that we try and carry on that momentum. Obviously, it's an important part of the season now, so like I say, we're going to have to get on a bit of a run to obviously get to where we want to get to.
There was 3 defeats in a row, wasn't there, earlier in the year? And if I think back to the start of the season, you went on that winless run quite early on. How important was it that you didn't end up on a similar run like that?
Yeah, massively important. I think the squad, the team, how we are is like as a unit, it's miles different from back then. I don't think there was so much worry as last time. It was just a matter of just carrying on what we've been doing with the hard work and trusting what we're doing, and the results are going to come.
I think your head coach is quite big on don't get too high when the times are good, don't get too low when the times are bad and results are difficult. Is that something that's echoed by you and your teammates? Yeah,
I think so. I don't think you can, like I said, we've lost games, you're going to lose a game. I think it's just important not to dwell on it, and the good thing about this league is that I've had a busy schedule and it's game after game after game, so you know it was good that we could put that behind us and, like I say, not get too high when we're winning games and not get too low when we lost the game.
And also putting a bit of a gap again between yourselves and 7th place and that chasing pack. Are you looking over your shoulders yet, or is it still too early to do that?
From my perspective, I think it's just important just to take it game by game and not particularly look at the table. Obviously, there's probably teams that could help us out here and there, but as long as we're putting in performances and getting results, there's obviously no need to worry about what anyone else is doing. It's just probably important just to focus on ourselves. Yeah, so like I say, if we're putting in performances and getting results, we don't need to be particularly looking what's around us. Obviously, people are going to look, and it's inevitable, it's going to happen, but no, I think it's just important that we focus on ourselves.
And for you personally, I know you missed earlier in the season due to injury, but whether you've been starting or coming on as a substitute, how have you found playing and being back amongst it this season?
Yeah, obviously I wasn't really seeing any game time at all at the start of the season. Managed to get on the pitch. Obviously, the last got injured, and yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Obviously, it'd been a long time. I don't like talking about too much anymore. Obviously, the long stint of injury that I had, but no, it was really good to be back playing and being back involved, playing on the weekends and that. You don't realise how much you do miss it, but no, it's nice to be back involved and, like I say, trying to help out how I can.
What's been Michael's remit to you?
What's that, sorry?
What's been Michael Duff's remit to you? What does he say to you when you're involved? What's he expecting of you?
Like it's the whole team, obviously, each player has their jobs that they need to do on the pitch. But like I say, it's not. I think he expects what he expects from us. Like, it's obviously just hard work, and for myself as a right back, it's obviously been reliable. And the way that the manager wants to play is obviously with wing backs as well, as obviously trying to get up the pitch and make opportunities. But no, it's not too it's not massive information or anything like that. It's obviously do your job defensively and help out obviously attacking.
And like you say, playing with wing backs, and when there is that back three, that's changed a lot this season. Have you got used to adapting to changing situations?
Yeah, I've got quite used to it. Obviously played quite a lot of games now, played different formations, different systems, so no, it's nothing new to me. And it just shows how good the squad is, that we are able to adapt to different systems, different formations, different opposition, so no, it's nothing new.
You're part of the team, obviously, that got to the Championship playoff final. Is there any similarities you see in this team? And second to that question, can you draw on the experience of that season?
Yeah, it always helps. It's a good change room. Back then, obviously, it was a great change room. This is a good change room. The lads all get on. It's all obviously striving to go in one direction. So, yeah, it's hard to make comparisons, really, but at this moment in time, obviously, look at this squad now. It's got really good players, really talented players, and like I say, as a unit, as a team, like we want to play hard together and work as hard as you can to obviously get to where we want to get to.
There's a lot of change in the summer. What differences have you noticed this season compared to the previous seasons you've been at the club?
Obviously, you don't really want to look back at too much at past seasons, but yeah, it's obviously fresh faces. Obviously, brings just a fresh start, really. Obviously, it was the new manager as well. Obviously, not new now, but yeah, obviously, it just felt like a bit of a fresh start. Which obviously you want to try and forget about the last season as much as you can and focus on this season.
An unwanted stat, I guess, is this calendar year you get to score at home, back at home this weekend. Does that add any extra pressure to you and your teammates?
Sorry, say the question again, sorry.
In terms of this calendar year, you get to score at the John
Smith
Stadium as a team, not just you personally. Does it add any extra pressure to you and your teammates to go out and entertain the fans this weekend?
No, I don't particularly say so. I didn't know that stat, so I don't know what lads do know that stat. But for me, just going to the game, trying to build on what we've done in the last two games. So no, I think lads are full of confidence to go into that game and hopefully get the win.
Best of luck for it.
Cheers.
Thanks, Ollie.
Cheers, we'll just come to Stephen Chicken from Real Terriers next.
Hi, Ollie. Strange question, perhaps, but sort of enjoyed watching you on the other night. Obviously you'd done your warm-ups, and then last half hour of the game you were basically pacing down the touchline, watching the game as closely as anyone and offering encouragement. Do you feel like that's an important role for you if you're not in the team, is to be there and offer your experience and encouragement, etc.?
Yeah, I don't get me wrong, I want to be playing. Everyone wants to play, and at the end of the day, everyone wants to win. So whatever I can do to try and help the lads, encourage the lads to get over the line, I'll do it. And I just felt I was out warming up, I might as well stay here and just give them some encouragement to the lads.
Every manager has spoken so highly of your professionalism from those who, they haven't been able to call on you. But I mean, is that something you pride on? Are there any sort of players that when you were coming up you looked up to for that, in that way as well? Did you enjoy being sort of that sort of model pro, as it were, or is it just something you don't think about, you just crack on with it?
It's probably something I don't think about now, but probably watched throughout my career when I was younger. There's probably been there's a few lads that I've played with that you'd say are the model professional, and like I say, I've probably taken in little bits from all of them. I just think it would be just an injustice if I didn't do it, if I didn't do that hard work, be professional. Like I say, I want to finish playing when I want no regrets. So no, I just try and just turn up every day and do it right. Really, it's just something I've just, I don't know, live by. No, it's just, I couldn't go home saying that I've not done all I could today.
Michael Duff has admitted, he's probably, when your roughs are travelling together, you're probably not. He's probably not your favourite person, but I think he has shown, hasn't he? He's willing to give chances and keep players in the team if they come in and do well, as you've experienced yourself?
Yeah, it's hard. It's been can't lie. It's been hard. Like I say, me and Russ had both wanted to play, and we just had to wait for our chance. Really, say Russ was brilliant on Tuesday, and to be honest, I didn't expect anything different. Most I can say is that we're both experienced players. We have played quite a bit of football in the past, so yeah, no, it's just something that you've got. It's just a challenge that you've got to overcome, and for, like I say, from myself and Russ, maybe it's just I didn't expect anything else from Russ to have a good game and do his job. And that's credit to him. Like I say, he's kept himself going, and hopefully, like I say, he can have a bit of a run in the team now and carry on doing well.
That's all from me. Good talking to you. Thank you.
Yep.
Cheers, Steve. We'll listen to Leon Mobshaw from the Yorkshire Post last.
Hi, Ollie. I hope you're well. Yeah, I mean, the same football that it's, the team is sort of, it's a team effort and this and that. If Huddersfield do go up, it just genuinely will be a total team effort, won't it? Because everyone will have contributed. All whether it's 25, 30 players, they'll all have contributed in some way, won't they? And it'd probably make it sweeter.
Yeah, definitely. It just shows the team that everyone is able to play and play at a high level as well. So, like I say, it's probably if every player was fit, I'd probably give the gaffer a hard decision to make to put a team out, because, like I say, the levels are high. But yeah, it's come the end of the season, and everyone will have hopefully played the part to obviously get what we want at the end of the season. So, hopefully that happens.
Yeah, do you as players or a squad, you probably forgiven for thinking what's gonna come next, because it's almost like there's adversity somewhere nearly every week or every few weeks, really, isn't it? There's these curveballs coming in all over the place. Yeah,
I suppose it's just part and parcel. It's just we have had the brunt of it. No, it's just part. It is just part of football that we've got to deal with it. Like I say, it's like I just said before, is that all the players are ready to play and give them all for the team.
With the gaffer, I mean, some gaffers, when players aren't, squad players aren't being involved, they probably don't keep them in the loop. There's not too much communication. I sense it's totally different with Michael. He just, his door's always open. He knows how players are feeling when they're not in the side, and he's understanding in that respect.
Yeah, previous obviously to the start of the season, I had conversations with him, and he's very open, and that's what you want from a manager. You just want him to be open and honest, and you can't really say anything back to that. So as a player, that's all you can ask for from your manager is to be honest. It makes it easy for you.
Obviously, you go back to Wigan on Tuesday. Psychologically, that's something that hopefully you can have a good night and get what happened out your system. Yeah,
no, definitely. Like I say, we just want to carry on this momentum now, and hopefully, like I say, go on another run of winning games. Like I say, we're going to take it game by game now, and hopefully now start a bit of a run.
Best of luck. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers, Leon. Thank you very much, everybody. We're back shortly with head coach Michael Duff.
Cheers.
Shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
One of the non-league signings here at Shrewsbury. This switch again towards Hull. Hull's skillful on the ball, finds Gilead. Gilead's cross. Marquis puts it wide. Couldn't actually sort his feet out as he shot on the run. If anything, the cross came too close to his feet when he travelled, and he couldn't guide it goalwards. It was just wide. But Town have had the warning now from Shrewsbury's, I think, best trick so far, the crossfield switch from left to right, to find in both cases the marauding right-back Luca Hull, who looks a very good player.
Yeah, well, they've been undone twice now in a couple of minutes on this right-hand side.
quite a few teams playing rearranged games tonight in League One. Chirrell, early ball over the top. Marshall chases it. Blackman reads it. Comes out of his penalty area, heads it away, but straight to Koroma. Koroma chips for goal, and it's headed off the line by defender Aaron Pierre for a corner to stop a certain goal.
Yeah, good work from Koroma again. Just couldn't get the height on it. Slightly under his foot as he knew he had to strike it, because to be fair, Jamal Jackman was bearing down on him, and that's not something you want to see if you're trying to get the ball over somebody. But good work. Poor goalkeeper now. Got to get more on Murray's header as it comes through there. Get it wide.
Shrewsbury's corner, left foot. 0-0. High, decent delivery to the far post. Tanner got to react. Pierre's there, but he heads wide.
Yeah, he's got a lot of pressure put on him by a Town player who I will identify in a minute through the slight bit of...
Benoit?
No, Ruffles.
It was.
Really good work. Just putting his shoulder in there, making sure it's not a free header, because that's a decent ball that went a long way across the 6-yard box towards the far post at not a great height.
Focus in defence from Huddersfield Town. Lots of jostling. Here comes Benning's delivery. Straight, chipped, floated. It's headed by Feeney and gathered at the second attempt by Nichols. There are shouts for pulling on Ojo as he fought for the ball. Good save, Lee Nichols, and it's a good job he was there to gather it as it bounced free in the 6-yard box.
Yeah, I'm not sure what quite happened in there. There was a free header for a Shrewsbury player forward. Nichols saves it, then gets the rebound. But I think as a player's coming to collect the drop from Nichols, there might be a little pull of a shirt.
And Huddersfield Town have possession inside their own half. 20 minutes left. Shocking protection of possession by Town, though. Shrewsbury have it with Marcus. Marcus finding his strike partner Lloyd, who hits the bar with his shot off balance. And Town are really dicing with it here. It's a corner. I think he must have got fingertips off Lee Nichols.
I'm not sure, or there was a touch from a defender, but people are going to look at Jonathan Hogg. He goes to control it, and it takes a huge bobble off his foot. Well, over his foot, you should have said. Nothing he can do about it at all. Goes straight to a Shrewsbury player. Although it beat Nichols or a defender, whoever it was a really good challenge.
It runs kindly for Town. Marquis has got it, then he loses it in a double challenge midway inside the Town half between Kasumu and Hodge. And now Kasumu runs away on the counter-attack. That pass wasn't aimed for Joe Hodge, but Hodge has collected it, and now he can run to the edge of the box and leave it for Koroma to shoot across the face of goal.
It's a chance. It's a real chance. From Doomsday at the back, when Nichols plays Balker the ball, when Balker's got nowhere to go, and then he bobbles the ball back to Nichols. The centre forward realises that overplay at its absolute highest level there from those two at the back when there's no need for it at all. Definitely the urgency to get the ball past.
But can they find a gap? Sorensen finds Charles. Early ball for Evans. Evans is crossed. Is Koroma going to arrive? Goal, Josh Koroma! Huddersfield Town have found the gap at last. A sudden flurry of activity from midfield. The combination down the right worked a treat. And the delivery from Evans threaded all the way across for Josh Koroma to score on his second consecutive match. With 8 minutes left of normal time. It's Shrewsbury 0, Huddersfield Town 1, and Town have made the breakthrough at last.
What a finish. I thought the chance had gone, the angle was too tight, but he actually smashes it in the top corner. Blackman doesn't seem to react to it at all as he moves across his goal line. But it's a wonderful ball from Evans just across the 6-yard. The goalkeeper can't come for the initial ball. The defenders don't want to commit. They think they've got it wide, they think they've got it safe. But Koroma just absolutely smashes it in the top of the roof of the net. And wow, we were saying it can change any point, a little bit of quality, and I've got to say that's a bit of quality from Koroma again for the second week in a row, second game in a row.
Maybe of another minute, maybe a bit more. Big booming
we don't know.
by Lee Nichols. Ladapo presses on the defenders. It breaks on the edge of the box to Dion Charles, who gets it, keeps it, wins it back after losing it, finds Kasumu with a pass. Kasumu finds Ladapo in the penalty area. Ladapo shot smothered by Blackman.
Good save, good work from Ladapo, just peeling off Kasumu to get himself some space. And to be fair, you've got to say it's a decent smother from Blackman. It's a big target to try and get past.
signals from the bench. Michael Duff asks the fourth official, is that it? Kevin Russell asks a little more urgently, and the answer is yes, that's it, because as Lee Nichols drive the ball downfield, referee Oldham blows the final whistle to complete an evening of nerviness, full-blooded combat, which has been settled by a very sweet Josh Koroma strike after a sweeping touch pass move down the right-hand side involving Sorensen, Evans, crucially Dion Charles, and the cross from Evans' right foot fizzing across the penalty area, eventually reaching Josh Koroma to size up the chance and belt it high into the net for the decisive goal, his 7th in the league of the season. Huddersfield Town's 44th in 31 matches played so far in League One. It completes their 16th victory from 31 matches, and the ratios and percentages.
shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm pleased to be joined by head coach Michael Duff. We'll start with Louis Reynolds from BBC Radio Leeds.
Thank you, Michael. Good to see you again. Can we start with your team news, please? Where are we at with bodies for Saturday's game?
A few bumps and bruises from the other night. Nigel Lonwick will come back into the thinking. He's been training, so that's another one back in. Other than that, there's as you were really.
Just clarity on Herbie Kane's situation as well. What was the prognosis with Herbie?
Herbie's damaged his PCL. So pretty innocuous again. It was our first goal against Barnsley. He took a bit of a collision there. Lad ran into him. He obviously gets up, makes a pass to Lass. We go down the other end and score. He's played the rest of the game. Came in Sunday reporting it was a bit sore and he's damaged his PCL. So he's probably 8 weeks. Which probably, again, it's just another random one. Some lads run into him and he's managed to play the game, but it's obviously done some fairly significant damage. So yeah, he'll be out for a while, Herbie.
It feels like we're having a similar conversation every other week, doesn't it? You almost becoming immune to these situations happening because you've missed quite a lot of key players this year, haven't you?
Yeah. We've had to come through quite a bit of adversity this year already.
Yeah.
So it's part of the job. You've got to be adaptable, you've got to be flexible, finding ways, whether that's formations, whether that's personnel, in game, you're trying to work things out. So yeah, that is the job. Everyone wants the best players available, and we've not had that all season. I said it last week. Raj told me that we picked the same team back to back once in what we now 40 odd games. I know 31 league games, but 40 odd games including the cups. So and we had a long period where we went unbeaten. So you generally want to keep the same team if you can, but it is what it is. I've said it all the time. No other people have had injuries. I'm not sure many have had as many as we have, but we just got to get on with it.
Do you feel in some ways you and your players deserve a bit more credit given where you are, given all that adversity you've faced?
I don't know whether we get credit or whether we get done. I think I know how we work. I know what we're doing is improving the players. It's tough. So, but I don't do it for gratification. It's you trust in the work that you do. You trust in what the players are trying to deliver. I think in the last couple of weeks we've fallen down on quality, which we've talked about quite a few times. But in terms of people in the right positions and running around and trying, that hasn't been in question. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll end up where we deserve to end up, and then people can make their judgments as far as we're concerned. So, no, I don't think we need to be clamouring for, you need to say well done more, or we're not getting enough credit, or it's just get your head down and work. It's the way I've always worked.
And when you talk about that adversity to come through those 2 away games with 6 points, that must be great for confidence and morale around the place.
Yeah, again, coming through the first half at Barnsley where it was got into really good areas in terms of, and I don't mean supporters will see shots and crosses, I don't even mean that. I mean when you stop it and people are in really good pockets, we've just not found them. But the reception at half time, coming through that, coming back to win a game for the first time, getting the other side, the positive side of having 4,500 because they went home happy. The other night it was a scrappy game. I thought again, first half we got into some good areas, but taking shots from the wrong decision making, wrong shots and things. And then second half was a grind. It was a difficult pitch. I think we've defended 20 set plays into our box against a team that were much bigger than us, and it was a stop-start game. We thought it was a stop-start game in the first half, and the referee put 20 seconds on. And then when we're winning the game, he seems to find 9 minutes from somewhere. So again, that's where we feel at the minute, a little bit hard done by. We know we can be better in certain aspects of the performance, but the run that we're on, clean sheet, away wins, it's you take the points where we're at the minute. Yes, we want to play brilliant attacking, free-flowing football. That's what we tried to do. But just finding a way at the minute, that's, like I said, in everything that we do, that's what we're trying to do.
And with all those factors we've discussed and you've touched on there, look, I know it's all about winning, but does it make those victories any more sweeter?
No. I've been in football long enough. Wins are hard to come by. So don't take them for granted when they're coming freely. But recognise you've got to tick a lot of boxes to win a game of football. Sometimes you need a little bit of luck as well, which we've had no luck. But don't rely on luck either. So it doesn't make it any sweeter. It's funny when you do win, you probably don't dwell on it that long because you're moving on to the next one. Whereas when you get beat, you dwell on those. That's the emotion of football. That's the horrible side to it. But no, the players are giving everything they can for the supporters. We travel in really good numbers. The supporters at home, they're big numbers, and the players are really appreciative of it. And like I said, we're fully aware of things that we need to improve on. We're not head in the sand. Everything was all right the other night because we won 1-0. There was loads of things we can improve on. It's just constantly trying to improve and survive at the same time.
Talk us through what you've made to Josh Karoma's impact the last couple of games.
Exactly what you want. I thought Josh came off it a little bit. We had conversations with him, what he needs to do. The most pleasing part of the goal the other day is there was some good build-up play, probably one of the few moments of quality in the game. But we've talked quite a lot about the Reading game where I think I said we showed 11 or 12 clips on the Monday morning of balls getting flashed across the face of goal. So it was quite a lot of work on the opposite wide man's got to get into the box. And one thing he can do it, Josh. Sometimes he gets a little bit lazy in his mind, not physically, and it's like, well, I'll just hang out wide. Well, the ball's on the other side. There's an opportunity to score a goal. It was a good move. It was a really good finish. Delighted with him. One thing he hasn't done, he's not sulked. He hasn't sulked. He's played left wing back. Then we sort of changed it to more of a 4-3-3. Now he's playing up top again, and I think he's the top goal scorer. So yeah, he's been. I really like working with him. He's a really nice kid. Wants to do well. Humble. Sometimes his body language portrays sort of that he doesn't care, and that's anything but the truth. So no, he's a good kid.
And when you have to have those conversations with Josh, he's saying he doesn't sulk there. Does it make your job in terms of managing the players a little bit easier when you've got a character like that? It's up to them how they want to react. Sulking won't get them in the team. I know that. Listening, taking the information, just being honest with them. Yeah. We say it quite often when you make a sub. We don't stand on the touchline and go, right, who's been our best player, and then we'll take him off. And it's not a me v them thing. It's they should be disappointed if they come off, but it's come off and we'll have a chat about it. And then they might not agree with it, but we ask them that they respect it and they support their teammate and don't let their ego get in the way. And then it's up to them. If they work, the staff will work with them. So there'll be a reason why they're not on the team, or we think they need to improve in a certain area to get in the team or show a bit more consistency. And then if they want to sulk and down tools, that's up to them. It won't get them in the team. Or you can do what Josh does, go away. Sometimes you might have to wait for an opportunity to impact the game off the bench, which he did. Then he gets a start, and then all of a sudden he's making the shirt his again. So that's the way football works. Josh is one of your players who's out of contract in the summer. I just wondered if any conversations have been had with him or any of the players in similar situations about possible extensions. That's obviously I have conversations with certain people, but I don't get involved in contracts and things like that. That's not my remit. So Josh is a number of players, but we've got that much going on at the minute. The focus needs to be on 3 points on Saturday, and those conversations are me and the player. We just work as coach, player, performances, and then agent, sporting directors, all those sorts of things. They're decisions that are taken. Well, you're involved in parts of it, but as far as that's concerned, I don't know, to be honest. On Saturday, and I know it's an unwanted stat, it's felt a while since a home goal here for your side. Have you changed anything in terms of preparation? And second to that, does it add any extra pressure on you and the players to go out and perform this weekend? In terms of preparation, we haven't changed because we think the prep was good. Performances haven't been brilliant at home. And it is an unwanted stat. We know you're not stupid. You haven't scored this year. The changes have been in personnel. The changes have been in formation. So there have been changes, but in terms of the way we prepare, the way we set up, it can't have gone that wrong. We've just gone a long time without losing a game.
And again, I don't think it was through a lack of preparation against Birmingham. I don't think it was through a lack of preparation against Reading, against Bolton. It was probably lacked some moments of quality at times, but that was not in terms of physically and tactically set up. I don't think it was that.
I guess Peterborough as well, needle between the fans as well. You got the better of them on the first day of the season. It would be great if you could get that win for the supporters.
Difficult game, difficult team, because they've got some really good players. They're really young. They've got a lot of pace in the team. They're obviously having a disappointing season. I don't think anyone saw them, but they had a lot of the team taken out in terms of the key players, and they're almost in a rebuild phase. Experienced manager, so we know they'll offer a threat. I was actually at the playoff game. What year was that?
Not last year before. 2023 was it?
No, Peterborough, Huddersfield. When was that? At Old Trafford.
Oh God, 2012.
2012.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I was at the game because I was mates with Joey Johnson. Yeah, and I was mates with Grant McCann. So I couldn't lose, and it was in Manchester where I was living at the time. So no, I was at that game. We want to give the supporters a performance. The away supporters have been brilliant. They've gone home happy. We want to, and that's the thing. It's not been through lack of trying, and I think supporters they've been disappointed with the home results in this calendar year, as have we. I don't think it's been a case of it's been quality rather than effort. But we need to try and improve the quality and try and score a couple of goals.
I know you touched on it a bit there, but are you surprised with Peterborough's league position this season?
Yeah. But it goes to show when there's a lot of change at a football club, it's difficult. You look at, and it's not trying to absolve ourselves in any criticism, Luton got relegated last year, look where they are. Rotherham are having a difficult season. When they got relegated, look where they are. It happens. When there's a lot of change at a football club, it sometimes takes a little bit more time. But in terms of the manager, they've got an unbelievably experienced manager. He knows his way around, and they've got some good players. But a big part of their team got taken away, and they all went on to higher levels. So it shows that they were good players. So they're in that sort of rebuild phase now. They've got to try and survive this year, and then I'm sure they'll kick on because their recruitment's always been good. They've always developed young players. They've always sold them on. That's their model. So, but we're not too concerned about what their model is. We need to deliver performance, score some goals, and win the game, hopefully.
And I guess what you've said there, if we circle back to where Huddersfield Town are at the moment and all the adversity you face, I won't use the word happy or delighted, but are you satisfied with where the team are at the moment in the league?
You always want more. I'll look at results that we've been really poor in. I'll look at results that we should have picked up more points. I'll look at results where we could have shown a little bit more quality. Yeah. But that is the job. You want to be demanding. Everyone wants to be top of the league. But I think we've come through quite a lot this year already, and it's like this. Football's never been a straight line. It's never going to go from A to B and everyth's all rosy. You're going to have to come through tough periods. You're going to come through adversity. And we have come through a lot, and we're still going through a lot. But like I said, at the end of the season, we'll decide where we finish, and if we're good enough, we are. If we're not, we won't.
Best of luck for Saturday. Thanks for your time.
Cheers, Lee.
We'll just come to Stephen Chicken from the Terriers next.
Hi, Michael. Good to see you. You sort of touched on it with Louis earlier, but you have had to, dig in and get those results. But you've got the movement and the build-up is starting to get there. But what does it take to get the players to make those better decisions in the final third? Is that something you can influence terribly much with coaching, or is it kind of on the players at that end of the pitch?
Bit of both. I think you can give them patterns. What you can't do is make a pass for them. Some of it's dealing with pressure, dealing with expectancy, decision making under pressure, which is what the best players are. They make the best decisions under the most pressure. But we can give them options. What my job isn't is to shout at them and just shout, be better, show more quality, be better. It's easy to shout that. You got to give them. You got to give them passes, give them crossing areas, and then it's up to people to, like somebody did quite a bit on the work, and so the Anthony Evans one's a perfect example. Work it into better areas. We didn't do that enough in the first half. I think we had 5 shots from the edge of the box when Lass is overlapping on one and TC's overlapping on another, and we can get behind teams. So it's showing them the opportunities where they can upgrade opportunities, but then the ball has to go in certain areas. That's on them. And then we need to make sure that people make the right runs, like Josh Koroma did for the goal. And it's just repetition, and then trusting in that's what we're doing, rather than just going off on your own sort of tangent, doing what you want to do when no one has a clue what you're doing. That's where relationships and that break down. So I think it's a joint thing, because it's too easy for me to just sit here and go, well, the quality's not good enough. Well, part of my job is to help that and help them, rather than just shouting at them, telling them how rubbish they are all the time. So I think there have been positive signs. We've changed the shape, we're changing the team constantly, so it's hard to get that fluidity. But we are trying.
You've had quite a positive record for sort of goals and assists from the bench this season, which I can assure you wasn't the case in previous seasons. You know, Anthony's got another assist. I think that's 3 from the bench in a row for him. Is it sometimes helpful if you're a player who's been watching the game for an hour or so and you coming in, not just fresh looks, but also you've been able to see those patterns maybe in a way you can't on the pitch and able to influence things?
It's something we do ask them. We don't want them just to sit there sat in their snooze with their woolly hats on, just trying to stay warm. You are asking them to watch what's going on, particularly at half time. If we're seeing how the game's developing, a couple of the coaches will just keep your eye on where he stood and look at the runs he's making, or he needs to do that run. But I just said there to Louis, it's when you're on the bench and you get an opportunity to get on the pitch, you need to make an impact to try and get in the starting 11. So if they do sit there and they're just daydreaming, just wondering when they're going to get a shout, and all of a sudden they come alive, then that's going to affect them. So we do ask them. It's up to them how they do it. But we think we've had loads and loads of injuries, but the squad is. You look at the players that we're bringing off the bench the other day, and I think we had 12 or 13 out unavailable, but it's still a decent team and still a decent bench as well. You know, Freddie Ladapo was in the Championship last year. Dion Charles scored 20-odd goals last year. Anthony Evans was Team of the Year last year. Joe Hodge was playing in the Championship last year. So there is still some quality in the group. So we just want them. We work with them all together. It's never it's never just the 11. It's all the patterns. They're all involved all the time, because they'll all be needed at some point. And this season has proved more so than ever that you're never dead in football. You know, you need to make sure. Josh Ruffles, perfect example. You know, got in the team, got taken off at half time for his first start, kept on working. We kept working with him. Came in on Tuesday night, and I thought he was excellent, seamless, fit, all the things that you want from a group where they push each other constantly and they support each other.
So for me, thank you.
Cheers, Steve.
We'll just come to Leon Robshaw from the Yorkshire Post last.
Hiya, Michael. I hope you're well. I was just wondering, I mean, you'd be entitled to be pig sick with all this disruption you've had, and you know you've had a hell of a lot to contend with. In a way, in a funny sort of way, has it brought the group sort of closer together? If there's one, not a positive from it, but that's one thing from it. They've got a little bit tighter, and there's a bit of maybe it's created a bit of a siege mentality that you might not have had or something.
I don't know. It's definitely not positive. I know that. I don't know. It does feel a little bit us against the world at the minute. And if that helps the players, it's they are a good group. Said it before, they're a good group and a nice group, and sometimes that's not always what you want is a nice group. But the fact that I think the change in the mentality is that we're not been looking to find ways to lose. Not that we were actively looking to do that. We've lost games on certain things. Northampton game aside, where we were terrible. There's no getting away with that. As a collective, everyone was rubbish. But there hasn't been that many of them. Like I said, it's been quality and things breaking down. We've played a couple of good teams as well, by the way, because Bolton and Birmingham aren't bad. I think sometimes forget that the opposition are allowed to turn up and be better than you sometimes. But has it brought them together? I don't know. They're fighting for each other. You've seen that in the last couple of performances where you start getting written off and they're rubbish, they're this. They've shown a reaction, they've shown that they care. So whether that's an adversity thing or what, I'm not sure. But again, all I can ask for is everyone wants more, obviously, but is that running around, the sweat on the shirt, I've said it before, that's got to be a minimum. You're going to get bad performances, they're human beings. but they're trying. So they are a good group in terms of that. We haven't got anyone walking around talking in corridors trying to pollute the place because they're not in the team. Because if they are like that, I'd remove them. Even if the windows are closed, I'd just put them in the B team. Fortunately for Tongi, he hasn't had that because there isn't any.
He's spoken quite a lot when Hoggy was out the team. How he was a great influence behind the scenes, and showing his mettle as a person. Have you been seeing that from a few of the others who were sort of injured as well? They're still wanting to be part of it and cajoling people and encouraging them, because it's the sort of thing that I know that you like seeing, and it's part of the whole group thing as well.
Different ways to lead. Say it all the time. You could be the best trainer every day in training, and not say a word. That's a good way of leading. Players pick up on that. Obviously you've got your old school warrior type, which is a Matty Pearson type, a Hoggy type. But there are other ways. It could be just encouraging one of your mates. That other people, they've all got their own little groups, and it could be criticising one of your mates, going, or get in the gym. That's not the way we work. You need to be better. That needs to be better. We've had a couple of analysis sessions where the players have delivered to us. Takes them out of their comfort zone, and rather than just sitting there going, right, me pontificating in front of a screen going, do this, do that, be there, sometimes it takes them out of their comfort zone. It gives them an understanding of what we're looking for, a better understanding of what their teammates are expecting from each other. It's hard to get them to talk sometimes, but they're all things that we'll look, because they've all got a role to play whether they're in the team or not. So Reece Healy, Danny Ward have a role to play. They're part of the squad. They're injured, but it doesn't mean just because you're not available, they're less important to us. We still care. We talked about Reece with his, the mental health side of it. Footballers want to play football, so it's our jobs to support them as well. So that's a different type of work, and sometimes you give them little projects to do, little tasks of what's the centre forward doing. How do you think his game relates to yours? Little tasks just to keep them motivated and keep them active, but because ultimately we'll all either get promoted or we'll all not.
Yeah,
so
I'm with you.
They're all here. They've all played a part. Everyone in the squad has had an opportunity. I don't think there's one player in the squad that hasn't played any sort of minutes. So if we achieve something, they'll all be part of something. If they don't, it's a collective. As a collective, we got where we wanted to get to. So, and it's making sure it's not just about the 11 on the pitch. I talk about egos all the time. It's not about. That's why when you make that sub, it's not about me and you. Come off, we'll have a chat. And it's getting that one common goal, which is they know what the goal is. Everyone talks about it, but talks cheap. We said it early in the season. Right, now's the time to stop talking, start putting it into action, and just constantly striving for that one common goal.
I'm just going to ask you about one of the leaders you've got in Tom Lees. He's probably someone you've noted his career from afar when you haven't been at Huddersfield. He's had a really strong, solid career, and he's a quiet, thoughtful individual who does his job, and you lean on him in times like this. You've obviously lost Mikel, and obviously Matty's out as well. He says about working with him. I mean, he sort of seems to be someone who'd be, right up your street.
Different types of leaders, like I said. So Leesy, you watch him in training, the warm-ups, he does everything perfect. He's in the gym, never cuts corners. It's another way of leading. Sometimes he's easily criticised, Leesy, sometimes, because people see the things he can't do, but what they don't see is all the things he does do. So is it a coincidence that we can see 3 goals against Northampton because Leesy's not in the team? Not so sure. He's been really good. Everyone knows he's quiet, unassuming, goes about his business. But you don't play. I don't know what in terms of appearances he is in the Championship, but I know it's 300, 400, 500. I might be even doing him a disservice at that many. So you don't play at the level that he's at, or the level that he's been, and the level that he's at now, at the age that he's at now, without being a good pro. And sometimes I've actually had a conversation with a player today, and it's, why do you think Leesy and Hoggy are still playing the way now? Because of the way they train. Sometimes players want to just coast during the week and then all of a sudden be good at a weekend. It doesn't work like that. He leads by example. And by the way, if you're not doing it, he will tell you, which is what you want. But he'll do it the right way.
Yeah, I'm just going to ask you finally. Obviously, you touched on it earlier. Your home form, you sort of had your winless streak. You've sort of sorted that out with the 2 wins. I suppose the next one is the home form again, and get that a little bit more on track. And I mean, I had a little look. You sort of first half, you know, maybe getting a few more goals in the first half to sort of, then you can sort of dictate the game a little bit and bring the opposition on, that sort of thing.
Yeah, we're fully aware of all those things. Again, dealing with pressure, dealing with expectancy, things that you have to do when you play for a big football club. And when Huddersfield have been in the Championship in the last few years, it's been a completely different expectation. It's fight, it's survive, can you hang on, can you dig in? That won't work. People are turning up expecting us to win, and we haven't won enough games. There's no getting away from that. So there's no hiding from it. We need to be better at home. We need to win more games at home, and we need to score more goals at goal. Or normally, score more goals, you get more wins. So yeah, we are. But it's been aware of it without trying to make it a thing. Because again, a lot of it is in between the two ears. You know, they're not. You can't be a good player away from home and not a good player at home. It's a mentality. And it's dealing with different types of pressures and expectancy.
Yeah. Very best of luck as always, Michael. Thank you.
Cheers, Liam. Cheers, mate.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Cheers. Thank you.
Shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.